Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Thursday! Happy April 1st! Oh, this has been a busy morning and it's only 10 o'clock. Let's give everybody a second to sign on, and when you get here, do me a favor and say hello so I know you're here. If I don't happen to comment, please don't take it personally. I don't want to lose track of what I'm doing because you know how easy that is for me. Let's move these out of the way. So, this morning was our pre-order for demonstrators for the new catalog, so that was exciting. And today we're going to play with our paper pumpkin from March. It's called Here's to You. Isn't that box so adorable? I just love the colors on it. And I'll open it up, and it shows you the cards that you can make with it. This month is actually an anniversary month, although they didn't really talk about that a lot. But they ended up giving us some stencils to play with. I can get these out of here. Actually, we're going to be using this one. I think that's all of them. Those are the stencils and a free Stampin' Sponge. And then these are two of the cards you can make. This is one of them. Here's the second one, although even making the regular card, I made it into an alternate because I added a piece of petal pink to it. But these little die cuts are just adorable. Here's the stamp set that we're going to be playing with, and it came with, the Calypso Coral ink spot, which I'm not even using today. Came with a whole roll of the linen thread and your tags, and this is one of the card bases. I will tell you too, I tried stamping and coloring with my blends on this. It didn't take the blends well. The blends really bled on this, so I don't advise that. There are the die cuts. Let's see, and here is, oh, there was one more, the clouds. So we'll play with those at another day. And here's one of the other card bases that you build your scene with. And it has these really cute envelope liners, which we are going to make into a card layer. Here's some more of the die cut scenery and these craft envelopes. And then here was the other pattern of the liners. So, pretty cute little kit. I have to say, I kind of struggled with coming up with my alternates. I saw some really gorgeous ones out there in Pinterest and in the Paper Pumpkin Facebook groups, but for some reason my mind just went blank with it. I had some severe mojo issues, but that's okay. You stop, you regroup, and I'll show you what I came up with and what we're actually going to create today. Put the box aside. So here's one of them using the Sunshine stencil, and that's using Rhonda Wade's $1 Million Stamp Set. I did see somebody else do this, and I just had to put my own spin on it. I thought this sentiment was perfect for that image. And then there's the inside and the envelope. And then here's the envelope for the second one. And this is the card that I came up with. And it's using a piece of the envelope liner. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I will tell you, when I was creating the sunshine card, I did have some trouble using my sponges for coloring the sunshine. I guess I should give you the measurements too. So I ended up using, and we'll use it here in a minute, my sponge brayer. But I think that's just me because I was having issues myself. Like I said, I was having mojo issues earlier in the week. Okay, so for our two cards today, this card here, the first one is in Petal Pink. The card base is Petal Pink. It's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Then I cut one of the card bases down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 on the outside layer, and then the inside layer is 3 3/4 by 5. This envelope insert is cut at 2.5 by 5.25, which still leaves enough to create your envelope liner. And then my piece of basic white on the inside is 3.5 by 4.75. And then our second card is cut, it's Daffodil Delight. It's cut in half by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I used a piece of the Neutrals Designer Series paper in Night of Navy. Now this Designer Series paper is on sale if there's any left. I think the sale, it's normally $11.50, and I think the sale price was $10.25, $10.34, something like that. So now's a good time to get that. So that's cut at 4 inches by 5.25, and then I have a basic white. This was 4 inches by 4.5, and then I'll trim it down when we get done coloring it. And then the inside piece is 4 inches by 5.25. And I used our regular basic white envelopes for this. For those that are new to Paper Pumpkin, it is our monthly subscription kit, and it is actually one of the top subscription kits in the industry. So it's $22 a month. You get this happy box in the mail with everything you need to create whatever the project is. This month was making, I think it's 8 cards, 4 of each design. And the only thing you normally need is some extra adhesive, but it even includes the mini glue dots and your dimensionals. And I've already taken mine out because I love using those. So I'll give you a hint when using the stencils. You know, all that washi tape you get and then you don't end up using, now's a good time to bring that out and tape this down. So like I said, I did cut that a little bit bigger, and I tried to get it just underneath, there we go, the same width. I think this is a 4x4 piece of stencil. So I'm just going to use some of the washi tape to keep this from moving around on me. And like I said, I tried using sponges, and because this, you see how that lifts up, I kept getting the sponge to lift it up, and I got frustrated, so I ended up bringing out my sponge brayer. I was never a brayer aficionado, but now I bring it out and it works really good. I know there's people out there that could whip those things and make these beautiful sceneries, but I never accomplished that. So you stick to what you know, right? So we're actually going to use Daffodil Delight. And note to self, if you store your sponge brayers, these are also retiring, so if you have them, don't store them anywhere that you have glitter. And I don't know where the glitter came from, but you can see it's on my ink pad, but it's not going to affect anything. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to ink up my brayer, and I'm just going to roll it across. And you can see there is glitter on this, which is okay, being that it's a sun. Just go with it. Guess I'm going to have to get a new ink pad. I tried cleaning it up yesterday, but apparently I didn't succeed in that. But that's okay. You know how I like bling, so we'll still go with it. I'm just going to come in and I'm going to color my sunshine. And like I said, I never got the whole strokes that they use for these brayers. I couldn't make it work for me. I don't know if that's just me, which it probably is. Operator error. Okay, come in here. And I think that's good. What do you think? All right, we'll set our brayer aside. We will need this again in a minute. Now we'll just lift this up. I don't want to lift it up all the way because I want to make sure everything's covered, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yep, looks pretty good to me. And then we'll just trim that bottom off because we want to make it a 4x4 square. Set this aside. We'll clean that off later. Yay for baby wipes. And I did bring my trimmer over so that I can trim that bottom part off. I'm just going to leave it right there at 4. And we're done with the trimmer anyway. So now we'll come over and we're going to add this. Oh, let's stamp our sentiment on here first. And we're going to stamp it in Night of Navy. Everybody that knows me knows Night of Navy and Daffodil Delight are 2 of my favorite color combinations. So we'll ink up our sunshine. We're going to stamp him right here. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love those 2 together. It makes me smile. All right, we'll set this aside because you know me, I'd put my elbow in it. Now we'll glue this, and I'm going to show you a cheater method for the ribbon for those that are new to my channel. So we're just going to glue this down to the Night of Navy DSP, and it's got this wood grain. Oh, you know what? This needs to be 3 3/4. Hang on. So this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Did I put that on the measurements? Nope, I didn't. All right, so this one will be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, so that it fits the way it's supposed to. I'm gonna come in here like this, and then to make it even, oh, the joys of live, right? Come in here, so that'll put it right at 3 3/4. Okay, and we'll lift this guy up, and we're just going to put this right at 3 3/4 up here at the top. Good thing I had this handy, huh? good sticky. All right. So now we'll put him in here. I'm going to make sure I change my measurements in my blog post too. So he'll fit in there just like that. And then I'm going to take my little piece of the ruched ribbon. Is that how you say it, ruched? And this ribbon is also retiring. I don't know if it's on sale at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm adding my adhesive on both sides. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to attach the ribbon into the adhesive. Got to make sure it's straight though. It's going to cover that seam like so, and then we'll trim the edge, and then we'll use that piece that's left over for our faux bow. So I'll add this here. And we'll add it to our card front, which is Daffodil Delight. I don't know if anybody's out there. I can't see any of my comments, so if you're there, leave a comment, and I'll comment when I'm done. Makes me feel like I'm all alone out here. Okay, so we're going to lay that down like that, and here's our little piece for our faux bow. It's actually a pretty long piece. So then we'll come in here, and when you tuck it under like that, grab it and turn it so that it kind of makes it more flat. And then we'll just trim the edges. There we go. And we're going to add some of those beautiful holiday rhinestones, which I'm real happy they are carrying over to the new catalog. Hooray! I love these. I use them on a lot of things, as are the Artistry Blooms sequins that we'll be using shortly. Okay, so the front is done. And the little bit of glitter that was in that ink pad actually makes it sparkle a little more. Win-win. Okay, so for the sentiment on the inside, I'm using the P.S. I Love You. We'll stamp him. Make sure the card base is straight. There we go. And then I'm going to add a heart in the yellow so that we have the two coordinating colors. And I'm not even going to stamp off. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the envelope while we have this out. I'm going to take off that yellow because we're going to stamp it in the Night of Navy for the envelope. We'll add that here. And then we're going to add the little, I don't know what you call those, the little lines that kind of accent. I'm going to add them here and here. Envelope is done. Glue the inside layer and we'll be done with card number 1. It does go by pretty fast even though we did some coloring. There we go. Pretty cute, huh? But then again, like I said, I'm partial to those colors, so there's that. Okay, we'll set those aside and we'll move on to card number 2. And card number 2 is using the elements from the stamp set. We're also going to need our Pierce mat since this is a photopolymer stamp set. So I'm going to be using Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink, which in the whole 2 years Pretty Peacock has been around, I've never combined it with Petal Pink, and I'm sad about that, but you know, life goes on. Let's get this together. Those go really well together, don't they? Of course, Stampin' Up! Knew that or they wouldn't have created the cards the way they did. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp our little square, and it's a stitch square. I actually had one in my stash. The stitch shapes are retiring, which again I'm sad about, but we do have some pretty things coming. So we're going to ink our flowers in Petal Pink. We're going to stamp off, and we'll stamp our image right in the middle of the square, just like that. Isn't that pretty? I like the little flowers that are in it. I think it's cute. Hi, Vicky. Someone is out there. Hooray! I thought maybe I was doing this all by myself. All right, so now let's get our happy birthday sentiment in here. And I thought the Pretty Pink looked, or I'm sorry, the Pretty Peacock looked really good over the Petal Pink. Isn't that pretty? That's that two-step stamping, like, I guess they call it. I like it that way. So we'll set him aside. Just close this up while we put the card front together. Otherwise, you know me. So I'm going to, let's go ahead and put this in here since I picked it up. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on it just because it's short in the length and we can still use it. So I'm just going to slip it in here. And then get it to where I want it. And that way it isn't going anywhere. I'll go ahead, since we got the envelope out, we'll stamp that. And this is a craft envelope, which picks up the Pretty Peacock really nicely. So I'm going to stamp some there. And I am going to stamp some here. And our envelope is done. Make sure we get all the Pretty Peacock off, as the inside layer is going to have the Petal Pink again. Okay, so I'm going to take my layer that I have here. This is part of that envelope liner. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here because we're going to add some of that linen thread that came in the kit. And I'm just using the same cheater method. I'm going to wrap this around twice, like so. Press that twine into the adhesive, and then trim my legs off. And then we'll add some more adhesive so it'll stick. And we'll add him, or since it's in pink, her, right there. And we'll glue this, move that down so it's straight, to the card front. We're getting close to the end here. Hopefully we'll get through this video. Add this to the front. And then, where's my little, here he is. We're going to add him over the, or next to the twine with dimensionals. It's so quiet around here. Isn't it nice? Okay, so we'll add him to the front. Oh, we need to add our little bow. So I'm going to make a double bow just by cutting a piece. I think that twine was left over from another kit. Nothing goes to waste around here. Okay, so I'll tie my bow. Slip your little bunny ears under there, and then we'll adjust him. Let's get the long one first. There we go. And then the little short guys. I didn't tie that very well, did I? Well, it works. Make sure it's tight. All right. Now we're going to add a mini glue dot right there. That way, by putting this layer of twine on and then your bow, you can put your bow right where you want it. I'm going to add that mini glue dot right there underneath. And we'll stick him right there. Trim his legs a little bit so they're even. Okay, good. Now we'll add some of the Artistry Blooms sequins, which, like I told you, they carried over to the new catalog. Hooray! Put some big ones over here. Just like so. So the front's done. Now the inside, we're going to repeat the pattern here. These guys are done. These are done. Get them out of the way. Whoa. Did you see what I almost did? No, you didn't see that. Okay. We'll stamp this guy in the middle. I told you it was a Thursday. Now, the sentiment in Pretty Peacock, and we will be done. Put these guys away. I'll stamp him right there. Those colors go really well together. I wish I would have known that 2 years ago, but that's okay. We got other colors coming. They work. It's always sad when our in colors retire, and we always seem to get over it, right? Get that box with all the new stuff. And then we will attach this to the inside, and we, my friends, are done. 2 cards, 20 minutes or so-ish. Not bad, huh? Okay, let's fold this guy down. There we go. So, decorated envelope, both cards. Oops, we're stuck. Move this guy. And then, of course, our sunshine card. What do you think? This is definitely going to cheer somebody up. That's just that bright and cheery yellow. Well, my friends, I thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me. If there's anything you'd like to order today, oh, I should tell you too, next month's Paper Pumpkin is actually going to be coordinating with the ice cream suite that's in the current January through June mini. So if you're not a subscriber, now's a good time to subscribe. You've got until the 10th of April to subscribe for that. I thank you again for stopping by and spending time with me this morning. I will go over and finish my blog post. All of the measurements for the cards will be in the blog post here at scrapsbysissy.com with links to both my online store and to Paper Pumpkin to subscribe. And if you shop at my online store, this is the host code that was for March. I'm going to be closing that out tomorrow, so you can add your order to that. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.